welcome to TMXC Adventures. My name is Lisa Keegan and we are nearly midway through a chopping week. Now today I'm going to show you how we use Speed 5 with hard veggies, okay? Now this is great for things like when you want to just put some grated veggies into, say, a veggie slice, or maybe hide some veggies in dinner, or in our case we're going to make some like potato hash browns, that's what they're called, with this. So today we're talking about things like potato. It could be sweet potato. It could even be pumpkin, as long as it's not a really soft pumpkin. Otherwise, you're going to use a little bit less time. Onions, okay, and we're going to talk about garlic. Now, just a little note on garlic. Now, you'll see the maximum amount I put on the thing is 800 grams. If you look at things like your hash brown recipe, potato cakes, those sorts of things, you can put a fair amount of hard veggies in, and that's because they dice around really nicely. However, these little things, you need a few of these if you're just doing these alone, okay? If you just put in a couple of them, you're not going to get a really great dice on them. All right, it's got, if you just drop one in, it's not going to be enough. So, same with kind of the onions. They can be a bit floaty. So I'm going to talk about them in group form, okay? So it would be all right if you put 800 grams of onions in there and chop them up. Spot on. Follow the recipe. But it's a lot of onion. You may not want to do that. And there's a lot of tears. Don't go looking over the bowl. But anyway, let's get going on this recipe. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to make these a great choppable size. So for that, I'm going to chop them in half. And I'm actually going to go a little bit more further today. That's borderline too big, but it's actually okay. So I'm going to stop like that. Little tip, if you are using your peeler blade cover, I've heard people say that they struggle to make it work. Couple of things. If you've got waxy potatoes, I find it doesn't work. Okay, so the really hard waxy ones, it just bounces off the wax. Other thing is you need to cut them smaller. Okay, so I cut mine down to this size, and I even put in dirty potatoes usually, and they come out peeled and dirt-free. I love it. And then I just rinse them and put them in the roasting dish. So little side note there. But anyway, back to chopping. We want to put them in about this size, okay? So in they go. Now, I'll give you a bit of a weight. I haven't been giving you the weights on things, but let's do weights so you can have a bit of a comparison here. It won't be a huge amount. I'm only making a couple today. So I've got 3 potatoes, and they're all about the same size. So I'm cutting them all in half. Now, I'm not putting all that onion in. That would be a little bit overpowering. With the garlic clove, you know what? If I make soups, this goes in whole like this. You guys probably haven't seen me do that in a while. We have had a garlic shortage at our house. So I actually haven't used garlic cloves. I had to go digging for this one in a long time as cloves. We've been cheating and using jar garlic. But if I'm putting a soup, in it goes like that. If I'm doing it in stock, in it goes like that. Okay, that little husk will be totally disappeared. If you want to get the husk off, just press on it and you'll notice it just kind of releases from the husk and it easily enough folds off. There is a method where you can do a whole lot on reverse in the Thermomix. It's a little too fiddly for my liking still. Anyway, that's done. In that goes. It's going to be yummy. And then onion. Now I said I wasn't going to do all of it. Now with our onions in our Thermomix, all we need to do is tail it, top it, hoping this one's okay, yep, and then through the center. Okay, now that releases all the husk off it, makes it really easy. Now, as I said, this is too much. This, for that amount of, what they call potatoes, this is way too much strength. So I'm just going to cut this in half and put a quarter in. Yeah, what I would ideally have done is had a purple onion, but we are all out, so I'm going to go with the brown. Okay, I find the brown's a bit too overpowering for my family. But anyway, in it goes. Now, we're on Speed 5 today. Speed 5, hard items. Okay, so close that off. Now you'll notice on the little sheet, it says 3 to 5 seconds, okay? So maximum 800 grams. So 3 to 5 seconds. 3 is gonna give you what I would normally put into a potato bake. So rather than, old school, you'd slice up your potatoes like little thin strips, I cheat, okay? So 3 seconds, especially if you did more. Obviously I'm working on a smaller quantity for examples today, but 3 seconds is going to give you a chunkier bit, a bit like our apples from the first day, those bigger chunks. If you want it to be more like a grate, then we're going to be doing the 5 seconds. Okay, so let's put 5 seconds on. Actually, let's go 3 and then I'll do 2 more to show you. Up to Speed 5, we're on Speed 5 day. All right, let's have a look and see. Oh, the onion is getting my eyes already. It's what happens when you're working in a non-ventilated space. you wouldn't have that trouble in your kitchen. Let me just show you what that looks like. Now, for my quantity being so small, that's actually not too bad. It's bigger than I was saying it would be if I was putting it into my potato bag, all right? But if you got 800 grams, that's where you want to, you would be wanting to do a second chop on that. But because I've got so much less, that's going to do me fine. Let me pour this out and show you how much that makes. Just a little suggestion as well is always start on the lower timing wise, because it's easier to put 2 more seconds on than it is to then wish that you did 2 seconds less. Doesn't that make sense? So in this goes into my bowl, and I will be sure to share a photo at the end so you guys can see what this looks like. But perfect for making those hash browns, hiding veggies in things and things like that. So easy, simple, seconds in your Thermomix. How cool is that? I remember when I first got my Thermomix 9 years ago now. And I remember I used to have so much trouble making bliss balls of all things. And it was because I was actually going for too long, too fast, and it just wouldn't turn. So that's the beauty of the Thermomix, is we've got that electromagnetic motor in there. It goes straight to speed and it works beautifully with our veggies, chopping them up. So there you go, guys. That is how you chop hard things. Speed 5, 3 to 5 seconds. 5 seconds if you've got a lot of content in the bowl, but always start with the 3 and then decide if you need a little bit longer. It's easier to add more than it is to take it off. Also on that note, for the last 2 seconds, if you do the 3 and you decide, hey, I've got a big content in the bowl, I need more, put this through your measuring cup hole like we did with our leafy greens for the last 2 seconds. So then do those extra 2 seconds, because that'll push those big chunks to the bottom if they're dancing on top, especially if you've got the full 800 grams worth in there, because that's a decent amount of potatoes in that bowl. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today. I hope you're learning some hints and tips for your Thermomix. Go check out the downloadable tmxingadventures.com.au. Do subscribe over there as well. I do put out newsletters once a month with some exclusive information for those who have subscribed over there. But otherwise, let me know if I can support you with anything with your Thermomix. If you have questions about these recipes and these, well, they're skills more than recipes this week, don't hesitate to reach out. But I do hope you're enjoying this and feeling like you're getting more confidence with your Thermomix. But take care, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow in the next video. Bye for now.